All right. So, thank you, Dr. Escamilla, for that humbling introduction. I am grateful to the Del Mar College leadership for the invitation to address the graduates and their distinguished guests tonight, and do not take lightly the responsibility. It is one that I accept with great pride and honor, and thank you all for allowing me to be here. Before I jump in tonight, I want to recognize our Gold Star families, first responders, veterans, and those in uniform who stand and watch in country and abroad. Without them and those who gave all, nights as glorious as this one would not be possible. Thank you. Del Mar College and the Corpus Christi Army Depot, CCAD, have a long history of deep-rooted partnership. We are both anchor institutions in South Texas with a global reach. Our past and future successes are inextricably linked. Over 1,000 students have graduated Del Mar and went on to careers at CCAD, and that number continues to grow. Some of you I will see at work on Monday. We have some CCADers in the audience? I know there's some in here, right? Others, I want you to know we will be hiring, okay? As America's Center for Industrial and Technical Excellence for Rotary Wing Military Aviation, CCAD depends on the students that Del Mar has trained and educated within all facets of our operations, and as leaders in this supportive community that as a Coastal Bend Coalition enable our ability to ensure the highest degree of readiness for America's military organic industrial base and the national defense strategy. Yes, the Coastal Bend is an important part of the national defense strategy, and Del Mar College is an important stakeholder. Briefly about me. Despite having come from what most would label as a disadvantaged upbringing, I've been blessed to do some pretty cool things, and tonight will be added to the top of this list. I was raised in Woodstock, Alabama by grandparents who were raised during the Great Depression. They raised 18 of their own children before they raised me. And if you think Mathis and Benavides are small, Woodstock has a population around 1,500. We lived on a hill in the woods above a rock quarry off a red dirt road, nearest neighbors miles away. We farmed and ran a scrap metal business where my grandfather was the CEO and I was the rest of the workforce. We were really the real life Sanford and grandson, right? So days began at 6 a.m. and generally didn't end until all the trucks were loaded, except for Sunday. I still had to feed the animals and wash one of my grandfather's long Cadillacs for church. At the beginning of the 11th grade, I moved to Flint, Michigan to live with my mother, my 3 siblings, and my stepfather. Flint at one time had epitomized the best attributes of middle-class America. However, by the time I arrived there, the city only showed remnants of its once robust automotive manufacturing history and had deteriorated to having one of the highest crime rates in America. Although very different environments, on the surface, both Woodstock and Flint had similar major disadvantages and still do in some ways to this day. Blending those experiences together, I realized that my work ethic from Alabama, coupled with the educational opportunities in Michigan, gave me an advantage. I realized that I had the power to reimagine my path. While there were formidable challenges, there also existed a network of positive individuals, opportunity that would manifest through constant work, persistence, and making wise decisions. Today, I want to share a few of those things from a professional and personal perspective. I know times have changed from 40 years ago, but hopefully in these modern times, some of these things will resonate with you. We all know that one of the foundational enablers for success in our society is education, as evidenced by your own achievements that we honor here tonight. What I come to realize is that education comes in many facets. Usually it starts at home. At an early age, you're told what you can and can't do. Can't run in the house, can't stay out late, etc. You can mow that lawn, you can clean that room, or you can talk back and you can pay your own rent. This, for me, was where limitations, fears, and boundaries were set, as well as family values established. Then we go off to school. This is where there is accountability and influence outside the home. First thing is just showing up. Remember the kid with perfect attendance? There was always one, right? As an operations leader in various industries, I have experienced that not showing up is the #1 reason for unemployment. If you just show up, then you have an opportunity to make a difference and show others you have respect for their time and commitment to you. In school, we learn that if we work to comprehend something and demonstrate mastery, we get rewarded. Our values and norms are also further shaped. You start to get a peek at how superior performance and citizenship provides honor, recognition, and opportunity. Or you can sometimes feel out of place, inadequate, and not valued. That's just how I felt taking differential equations and calculus at the Naval Academy. We have a friend. And then there is the education that we get out in the world, where we are free to make our own decisions. We are free to challenge those norms that we may have grown up with, free to challenge limitations that we may have perceived or were told we had. When we enter the world, we continue learning. However, we have to realize if it's being hindered by what we learn in our homes and schools. We have to consciously refocus when those emotions from our past limit our ability to seize the opportunities that are in front of us or in our future. Never underestimate your own ability to reimagine yourself. It's not within anyone else's power to do for you or to you. If you can imagine it, you can achieve it. Mark your target, make a plan to get there, your plan, your timeline. There are 2 things that I found out that are guaranteed in life. One is that time is finite and that we will encounter change each and every day. We are faced with unpredictable change and daily obstacles that require patience, persistence, problem-solving ability, and oftentimes humility. As we progress and overcome, we call that life experience. Look forward to each day knowing that there will be uncertainty, change, and effort required. We normally label our daily interactions with our environment as living. We often feel like we have control, although the reality is that the control is perceived. How we receive the dynamic shifts can challenge our emotions from a feeling of comfort to falling into despair. We can easily go from feeling like we're living to surviving. Try to make peace with it and look forward to the struggle. Be thankful and learn from the outcomes and appreciative of the chance to wake up and do it all again the next day. During my career, I've been often asked this question from folks who are thinking about beginning a career or transitioning. What should I do? And I've always come back to 2 things. Do something that you have a passion for, and do or learn something that people will pay you for. Whether it be as an employee or as a business owner, it is difficult to do what you love when you cannot eat. Some of you graduating tonight may have taken that step to reimagine your career, as sometimes the market demands new skills and presents an opportunity for advancing your quality of life. You just have to embrace the opportunity. So why do we have jobs or customers? What is the business proposition? I've learned whether it was stocking shelves on a grocery store in Flint, or driving a nuclear aircraft carrier, or leading a global medical device site, that I was hired and paid to solve problems. Mo money, mo problems. You guys know who said that? Notorious B.I.G.? That's who I thought it was. It was actually this guy named Will Rogers from the 20s. He was a vaudeville actor. So the concept's been around for a long time, but Mo Money, Mo Problems is a very good album. There will be change every day, and that change presents problems at all levels, sizes, shapes, and forms. I've found that my value to a company was directly proportional to the problems that I solve. Because of that correlation between problems and value, problems turned into opportunity. In other words, more problems, say it with me, more money, more problems, more money, that's right. When we take on problems, we might create more problems. That's okay, as long as you're doing what is right and the number of problems you solve are greater than the number of problems you create. You will know when it's right, and you will know when it is wrong. The number of people doing wrong, nor the length of time a wrongdoing has been committed, will lessen your personal responsibility and individual accountability for you to do the right thing. Do the right thing all the time. Gain clarity on what problems you were hired to solve. That's a job description. That's what they call it. Understand the expectations and communicate often about the progress and barriers. Don't be afraid to ask for help, as it does provide clarity, builds trust, and fosters teamwork. Catalog your accomplishments and learn from your failures, as this enables self-reflection, and ultimately it's what we call a resume. And if at some point in time you part ways with the organization, it's now with validated experience and confidence of knowing your impact to the business, and you can then better negotiate and articulate your value to another. From a personal perspective, there are 3 points of advice I want to share with you tonight. Number 1, ensure you take care of your physical well-being. Get enough sleep, eat right, work out, and laugh. Your body is a temple and must be capable of providing you confidence, capability, and endurance to deal with the constant change we face each and every day. Our health enables our ability to live life to the fullest. Number 2, judge people one at a time. While traveling the world, I have found that people have lots more in common than they are different. They cry the same, they laugh the same, they show love the same. They all endure the same struggles that all human beings face. The more you realize that fact, the easier it is to have empathy, embrace, connect, and enjoy individual uniqueness, which in turn enlightens the finite time that we have on this earth. Judge people one at a time. Now this one, number 3, I've heard this one all my life, and I've struggled with how to visualize it, but I'm sure we've all heard it. Surround yourself with the right people. People will make you better. What does that look like? So I'm going to try this visualization with you guys. So imagine you're at the base of a mountain. On the top of that mountain is your destination or your goal. It might be your graduation tonight, the next milestone you plan to accomplish, or maybe even the life that you want for your family. When you envision that goal that is sitting at the peak of that mountain, you might have some fear, and that's okay, because it means that you're taking risk. The steeper the incline, the more jagged the rocks, those are obstacles that you have to overcome. And generally, the more risk and uncertainty they present, the greater the reward. Surround yourself with the kind of people who have the same or greater goals and want to see you at the top of that mountain. Surround yourself with people that will advise you on the best path to take while climbing, so you don't slip where they slipped before. Surround yourself with the kind of people who will offer you a hand when you slip and encourage you not to quit when you feel like giving up. Surround yourself with people who will ask you for help, because when they do, it shows vulnerability. And when you help others, it builds your confidence, provides a sense of purpose, and bonds trust. And when you get to the top of the mountain, they are the kind of people who don't block your view. They point out things you may not have noticed for you to enjoy. They share learnings which allow you all to get better and are genuinely happy for each other's success. Lastly, and probably most importantly, surround yourself with people who, after enjoying that moment together, will motivate you to go on to the next goal. In closing, you see some of those folks you want to be surrounded with on the top of that mountain. They're here tonight, enjoying the view. For that, mine. That's 24 years right there, guys. Some are online, some are far away, wishing you well, sending you prayers of support. That team helped you to get here tonight, and you provided a gift to them as your accomplishments provide proof that their efforts made a positive difference in your life. Their support of you mattered. And when you walk across the stage tonight, you'll get to share that view from the top. There are some of you here tonight which the struggle to get to this milestone was real. You felt like quitting. You may have asked yourself, why am I taking on something so difficult? For what? For who? Well, it is for someone, and that is you and your future family, partner, and those you may not even know who are watching you as their inspiration and hope. But what I want you to know is that you're not alone. Look to the left of you, look to the right, look up on the stage, right? You're a Viking. You will never be alone. It can't be taken away. You earned it. You're a Viking for life, all right? I'm Rod Benson. Thank you for allowing me to share this with you tonight. Be safe tonight. Celebrating. God bless.